Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into politics, high stakes, real drama, and decisions that shape our future. Let's break it down. Like, subscribe, and stick around.
Picture a world where the United States, for generations a lifeline to nations ravaged by war, disease, and famine, abruptly severs nearly all its humanitarian aid. That world materialized on February 26, 2025. When the Trump administration unleashed a decision so staggering it reverberated across continents. It is terminating over 90% of the U.S. Agency for International Development's foreign aid contracts, obliterating $60 billion in global assistance that once sustained millions. This bombshell, laid bare in an internal memo obtained by the Associated Press, represents one of the most audacious retreats from America's global leadership in modern history. It's a policy shift that promises to redefine U.S. priorities, leaving allies scrambling, adversaries emboldened, and vulnerable populations abandoned. How did this come to pass, and what seismic consequences might follow such an unprecedented gamble? To grasp the enormity of this moment, we must rewind to the legacy Trump inherited. Since its founding in 1961, USAID has been a linchpin of American foreign policy, dispersing billions each year to fight poverty, disease, and instability in over 100 countries. When Donald Trump took the oath of office on January 20, 2025, for his second term, he stepped into a world where USAID managed 6,200 multi-year contracts worth $54 billion, complemented by $4.4 billion in State Department grants. These efforts had earned widespread acclaim. Consider the millions in sub-Saharan Africa spared from HIV/AIDS or the Ebola outbreaks thwarted by U.S.-funded expertise. Within days, Trump signaled a radical overhaul, freezing all foreign aid and announcing a 90-day review to scrutinize every program. This swift, decisive action foreshadowed a transformation few could have foreseen, setting the stage for a policy earthquake. Now, brace yourself for the startling truth at the heart of this upheaval. This isn't a mere pruning of excess. It's an almost complete demolition of U.S. foreign assistance. The AP memo discloses that the administration intends to axe 5,800 of USAID's 6,200 contracts and 4,100 of 9,100 State Department grants, sparing only a skeletal framework of what once was a robust network. What makes this even more contentious is the ideological lens driving it. Trump, joined by tech mogul Elon Musk, has cast these programs as a wasteful liberal agenda, a narrative that clashes starkly with their proven impact. Aid advocates are dumbfounded. How can initiatives that halted deadly pandemics and fed starving children be dismissed as ideological baggage? This provocative stance has sparked a fierce clash over America's role. A beacon of hope, or a fortress turned inward? Let's dissect the logic and fallout of this extraordinary policy. The administration's memo contends that these cuts purge significant waste stemming from decades of institutional drift, vowing to wield taxpayer dollars more shrewdly to advance American interests. It's a rallying cry, rooted in Trump's America First doctrine, envisioning a government stripped of perceived excess and refocused on domestic needs. Yet, the reality on the ground tells a grimmer tale. Overnight, programs that once contained Ebola in West Africa or delivered emergency food to Yemen were paralyzed, their staff sent packing or furloughed. Critics argue that the absence of rigorous program-by-program analysis, replaced by a swift, ideologically charged axe, undermines claims of efficiency. This isn't just a fiscal reset, it's a high-stakes experiment that risks trading human lives for political capital, leaving a trail of uncertainty in its wake. The execution of this policy was a whirlwind of relentless action. On January 20th, Trump mandated a comprehensive review, pledging to determine which programs deserved to continue within 90 days, a reasonable time frame on paper. But instead of a deliberate evaluation, the administration imposed an immediate funding freeze, grinding thousands of projects to a halt across Africa, Asia, and beyond. By early February, Musk's newly minted Department of Government Efficiency teams descended, enforcing mass layoffs and forced leaves among USAID's workforce. Cancellation notices soon flooded out to contractors worldwide, dismantling decades of painstakingly built initiatives in a matter of weeks. This breakneck pace wasn't just an operational shift, it was a deliberate escalation, amplifying the policy's reach and sowing chaos in regions once stabilized by American support. A formidable roadblock soon emerged, a torrent of legal and political resistance. Non-profit organizations and businesses, collectively owed billions under USAID contracts, launched lawsuits asserting that the freeze breached federal obligations. On February 26th, U.S. District Judge Amir H. Ali delivered a bombshell ruling ordering the administration to unfreeze billions in aid by midnight that day, a deadline that threatened to derail Trump's plans. According to court filings cited by the AP, nonprofits accused Trump appointees and Musk's efficiency squads of terminating contracts at a dizzying clip, with little to no substantive review. This legal showdown escalated tensions, pitting the administration's unilateral ambitions against the judiciary's authority and the rights of contractors caught in the crossfire. Faced with Judge Ali's mandate, the administration scrambled to outmaneuver it with breathtaking speed. Court documents quoted a USAID official's email to staff on Monday. "There are many more terminations coming, so please gear up." Nonprofits argued this frenzied pace was a calculated ploy to nullify the court order by canceling contracts before funds could be dispersed, an accusation bolstered by the sheer volume of terminations. The administration insisted its actions completed Trump's promised review, though the brevity of the process raised eyebrows. Meanwhile, after over a month of zero payments, officials began releasing a meager few million dollars in backlogged funds on February 26th. A paltry gesture against the billions owed. This chaotic flurry of moves painted a picture of an administration racing against time, legality, and its own promises. Voices from across the spectrum amplify the stakes of this saga. Senator Chris Murphy, a Connecticut Democrat on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, told the AP they're trying to blow through Congress and the courts by announcing the completion of their sham review and terminating thousands of aid programs. A contractor speaking anonymously to the AP minced no words. This isn't efficiency, it's abandonment of the world's most vulnerable. The U.S. Global Leadership Coalition, representing major businesses and NGOs, issued a dire warning. The American people deserve a transparent accounting of what will be lost on counterterror, global health, food security, and competition. These first-hand accounts from policymakers, workers, and advocates reveal a nation and a world grappling with the profound human and strategic costs of this upheaval. The consequences are unfolding with chilling clarity. Programs credited with saving over 20 million lives, think HIV treatment across Africa or Ebola containment in Guinea, are now starved of funds, exposing millions to resurgent threats. Economically, contractors face billions in unpaid bills, teetering on collapse, while geopolitically, allies like Ukraine and Jordan brace for instability without U.S. backing. The AP memo, first reported by the Washington Free Beacon, pegs the cuts at $54 billion for USAID and $4.4 billion for State Department grants, a financial gutting matched by a strategic retreat. This rollback dismantles alliances forged over decades, potentially ceding influence to rivals like China or Russia, who stand ready to fill the vacuum left by America's withdrawal. Then, in a dramatic turn, the Supreme Court threw a lifeline to the administration. Late on February 26th, Chief Justice John Roberts issued a succinct order halting Judge Ali's mandate, granting a temporary reprieve as the administration faced mounting legal challenges. This unexpected intervention, sparked by an emergency appeal, came after weeks of judicial warnings for non-compliance. A pivot that shifted the narrative just as the clock neared midnight. The court's action underscored the gravity of this clash between executive power and judicial oversight, leaving billions in aid in limbo. Plaintiffs were given until noon Friday to respond, ensuring this legal drama will stretch on, with global ramifications hanging in the balance. Undaunted, the administration seized this reprieve to double down. On February 26th, the State Department, under Secretary Marco Rubio, teased a forthcoming overhaul of foreign aid, promising a wiser model laser-focused on America First priorities, though specifics remain elusive. This late-breaking shift after weeks of near silence on alternatives caught analysts off guard, hinting at either a strategic recalibration or a defiant escalation. Public reaction is a house divided. Trump's base celebrates the cuts as a long-overdue purge of waste, with one ex-user proclaiming, "No more handouts, America's finally free." Yet aid workers, global leaders, and even some U.S. businesses lament a betrayal of values and security, fearing a world less stable and less friendly to American interests. What does this seismic upheaval ultimately portend? The Trump administration's assault on foreign aid is a radical reimagining of America's global role, torching a humanitarian legacy to chase fiscal purity and nationalistic gain. It's a gamble of breathtaking scope, potentially saving billions in taxpayer funds, yet risking the erosion of moral credibility, strategic alliances, and countless lives. The world now watches as legal battles grind on, communities falter, and adversaries circle. Will history hail this as a visionary triumph, a bold excision of a bloated system? Or will it stand as a grim testament to hubris, a moment when America turned its back on those who needed it most? And, perhaps, on its own future? The stakes are colossal, the outcome uncertain, and the question haunts us. Has the U.S. forsaken its promise to the world or merely to itself?
That's it for today's deep dive into the latest political developments. Whether you agree or disagree, the conversation doesn't stop here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Stay informed, stay engaged, and I'll see you in the next one.